And we're rolling. Mr. John Doe, John Deasy. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. Thank you for coming in, finally. I feel like we've been talking about doing this for a while.
Yeah.
And took us doing it in the middle of the night to get it done. Took us doing this in the middle of the night to finally get it done.
What was it the other night? I was like, I'm free after whatchamacallit, but then you were like, I don't know, you were like in a kind of in a coma.
It was when I had that epic long day of DJing.
Like, what was it? The Saturday to
Friday. I started Friday, and then I DJ'd Friday night, came back, and then did your event Saturday day.
Yeah.
And then the after party, well, not the after party, but a little after shindig at a warehouse space, and DJ there for like 5-6 hours.
It's a top secret.
Yeah, until like 8, 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then DJ'd Barley House at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
And then didn't leave there till 10 p.m.
Yeah, I was like, is this dude gonna make it?
And then I left Barley at like 9:30, 10, and got $100 in snacks at CVS.
That's freaking a lot of snacks. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But we're not here to talk about me.
Snack life.
We're here to talk about you and your snack life. And you and your DJ life.
Most of it's snack life.
How is most of it snack? I feel like you do snack a lot whenever you're DJing. Or no, after you're DJing, you snack.
I think that was a big part of just enjoying food after you get bored. You get you get hungry. You get bored and then you get hungry. Your boredom turns into hunger after.
That's so complicated.
Well, after you're done DJing and you're like, I don't want to go home yet. You're like in a you're still going, kind of buzzing from everything.
Right.
So I guess the come down is food at 3 a.m.
Oh, but, okay. So that's like how you decompress.
Yeah. That's how I decompress. It was food a lot. It was always food, and then I had to learn how to like not decompress that way. Because then I got just every night at rallies at the same time. I'm not pumping up rallies, but like I would have homies that would I'm not gonna drop any names, but homies that would DJ at so-called spots.
The
from like LA
venues.
Yeah. and they would be like, let's get some food. And I'd be like, I know the perfect place.
I feel like after the club, that's always the thing. Like anytime somebody comes in to play from out of town, or if you get booked somewhere else, somewhere out of town, the main thing that people always want to do is go and eat.
Go and eat. Yep.
It seems like, I could say from my experience, every time I've been booked somewhere, like one of the things that I know to do is like, okay, don't eat during the day because whoever's booking me is going to want to go out to eat.
Yep.
Especially like either right before or right after the club.
It sucks eating right before you DJ.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It sucks.
I don't know why people don't get that.
It sucks. It sucks because if you're like, and then if you drink on top of all that, especially like Jameson and
what is it with
that's a disaster combo right there.
What is it with like people booking you and then wanting to get like their DJs hammered before they go on and then expecting them to do this like amazing job? Like,
but I think that some do, and this is awful to say, and I don't, if all you kids out there, don't try this at home. Some can do it really, really good, and then some. I think it's because you're walking into a party, so you're almost like, okay, well the DJ has to get hammered because we have all this alcohol. We want to show them a good time. They don't know that. They don't know partly, who Super Drinker is.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he could be like the biggest. I'm not, he could be the biggest drinker in the world, and they don't know that. And he's buying $200, $300 worth of alcohol, and he's fucked up.
Yeah, yeah. And then
Yo.
and then they'll wonder why, like, oh
I-
man, he seemed a little bit off. It's like, yeah, you got him fucked up before he started DJing.
I remember there was I was opening for, I'm not gonna say any names.
There's no names involved.
I want to call her probably a model chick, naked model chick, DJ, naked, and so I go on, right? I do the my little opening tap dance, blah blah blah. I get done, and so then I go move to the other room. Whoever's gonna hear this or will probably remember like every freaking detail about it. But I move into the other room. I'm DJing in the other room.
Wait, was this an event that had a naked chick DJ at it?
Yeah.
I think I remember this event.
Yeah. So, like she was already fucked up in the beginning. So I don't know. I felt like even when she was about to jump on, she fucking completely had no idea what the fuck she was doing. I was like, really?
I feel like she wasn't even a DJ.
Should I show you how to use your headphones?
I feel like she wasn't even a DJ. I feel like somebody else was DJing for her. She was just there topless.
Well, it was. She managed to get on, and I went in another room and did my thing. Was doing my thing, and I don't know. I don't want to say a few minutes later. You know how like when you see that meme and it's like a few minutes
later.
I got the management call. So then I'm like, well, all right, well then what am I supposed to do? So then I got back up there. She was on the floor. Like sitting like on the floor, like all like I don't want to say like
like
just sitting like
cross-legged or just like sitting down there.
She was sitting down there she was like this like like on some why.
Oh, so she was sitting there distraught.
She was distraught as fuck. So then I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta save the naked girls, whatever.
The naked model DJ.
So then here pops the Filipino guy. Wait a minute, you're not freaking naked whatever,
model DJ.
DJs.
Wait,
whatever.
how did that become your responsibility to like?
I guess.
Wait, was she in the main room?
Yeah.
Oh, so she was main room.
Yeah.
And then you were in one of the side rooms,
Yeah.
and then she couldn't hack it.
She
Then they were like, "Yo, we need somebody to."
She couldn't pull it off.
Oh man!
But I mean, I think that probably is maybe that might be, an example. and
an example of a promoter feeding the DJ drinks.
Or, drinks, or even before that, hey, here's dinner, and here's a bottle of blah blah blah, and drink up.
I mean, personally, me personally, I like to decompress a little bit before I go DJ, especially if I'm in a new city that I've never been to. Now, my I don't want to say way of doing things, but something that I like to do is to maybe go to the club a little bit earlier and just to hear like what the other people are playing, what kind of stuff is the crowd into.
Yeah.
Maybe even walk around the city, just get an idea for what's going on there. The last thing I want to do is hang out with the people that booked me to come out there at dinner.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
while everybody, because I feel like most of the time when that happens, it's just a bunch of people trying to show off their palate.
Yeah.
And you're going to this like super expensive place to eat.
Yeah,
I'm a simple man. You can get me Chipotle and I'm straight.
It's my rider.
Yeah, like my rider is literally like gummy bears and some water. Like I'm simple like that. But like I like to decompress before I DJ, and then after I DJ, sometimes I want to decompress too. But sometimes you know you go to another place and like after you're done, they want to turn up.
Yep.
Like they still want to turn the hell up.
Yep.
I'm like,
Yep.
that's cool and all. Like I'll go to an after party, but if I am in the mood to just chill, like I'm just gonna go chill.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody knows, but DJs don't listen to fucking music after the club.
At all.
We don't go drive and bump our shit or bump anything
At all.
We'll
whatsoever.
drive home. I'll drive home like silent. You know what I mean? Windows closed,
And
not bumping shit.
I've noticed that's a pretty universal thing. Like some people will say, okay, well, you guys have been in the game for a while, but I know DJs that are like a year in and it's the same thing. Like if you've been DJing for more than an hour,
Yeah.
the last thing you're doing is blasting
Yeah, you
music
don't-
on
you
your
don't-
way home.
It's like working on a track for 10 hours. and then that 11th hour, somebody will probably be like, yo, let me hear it. Fuck that shit. You're throwing the computer out the window. And
Well, it's just like a chef doesn't go home and cook.
no.
You know what I
no,
mean?
no. A chef will go and get some hot pockets.
Yeah.
And just, throw them in. He's not gonna do his. He's just gonna be chilling.
Dude, Kid Genius,
Yeah.
you know, he's also a chef. He got an Airbnb and we filmed a bunch of footage for him cooking stuff.
Yeah.
This dude made like a bunch of like gourmet meals, gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches,
Yeah.
gourmet freaking s'mores. He made a huge salmon with a berry glaze. And then when his lady came over, they ordered McDonald's.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, y'all are really about to eat McDonald's? He's like, yeah, I don't eat this stuff. And I'm like, why not? He's like, I just get sick of it. And it's that same thing. Like,
yeah.
like, you know,
If you DJ 5 hours, 4 hours straight, constant music, and the public might think, "Oh my God, you're just awesome. You're living the awesome DJ life and blah blah blah." And after you probably freaking run around with bottles and after DJ somewhere and keep going until 11 o'clock in the morning. And we're like, no, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
When you're done, you're done. It's clocking out.
yeah, when it's time to turn it off, it's time to turn it off.
Yeah.
I was saying on the stream the other day, since you're on here, that a lot of people look at DJs like the job looks like it's always a party, but it's actually, I mean, number one, it's work. It is a job,
Yeah.
and number two, it can be one of the lonelier jobs out there.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna say this as DJing. Me and you DJed together for some years, and then you DJ'd and I separately. If I think that when you're all alone, kind of DJing in a let's say you go to another city and you get there, you probably got one of your homies with you, but he's off doing his thing, grabbing a bottle, trying to freaking holler at a chick, and then you get in there, and then it's only it's only you.
Yeah,
You're you time. That's you time. That's like
just you.
all you time. So the craziest part is like people think that like after you're done DJing, you have 18 girls that are like lined up waiting for you. You're wrapping your headphones up or wrapping all these cords up, or if you got gear, you're the last one there.
Yep.
The light guy is probably even like, all right, buddy, see you. Fucking lights shutting off and shit. But you're like, from DJing with your buddies or your friends, and I think I heard when you guys talked about that too. When you're by yourself and you're doing this job, and you're going home. There's no bitches waiting for you. And if they are, they're the drunk ones with the one cross eye, and you're like, all right, I guess I gotta do this. But 99% of the time, I'm gonna go home, and
You're just going home.
going home,
Just driving home.
yeah. And everybody thinks that like it's the grass is greener on the other side, because people get this perception that like a lot of us have this party life and everything, but like I think, to be completely honest, and I don't know if I've ever even used this analogy, but it's almost like when you're a DJ, you go in, you do your little dance, you do your little performance, and then you go home.
Yeah.
And me, I got kids and I got a wife, and I'm going home to my wife and kids.
Yeah.
Maybe drunk as fuck.
It's almost like a out of sight, out of mind thing. You go there, you show up, you do your performance, and then when you're done, like especially in clubs, once you're done, nobody's thinking about you.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Nobody gives
Like
a fuck.
I've DJed plenty of clubs, plenty of places, and there's never been a time where like when I'm done, people are like waiting there to hang out with.
Yo, that whole thing about drinking before, let's get you hammered. So by the time you're done, I don't know if anybody like there's been times when I'm like, these motherfuckers should take me home, or does anybody know I'm so fucked up that I need an Uber, or you know what I mean? There's, hey, have a good one. See you later. Hope you don't die.
People just get you hammered and then just leave.
Yeah,
you hanging.
it's almost like a trick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Party. Okay, have a good one.
And then just dip.
It's freaking just leave you.
That sounds horrible.
It's horrible.
We make DJing sound like a terrible thing.
No.
I tell people to me it's the best job out there.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
just not what people think it is.
There are some pitfalls.
Definitely.
We're talking about. We're not talking. Well, so we're talking about you go there, you DJ maximum. The maximum like 6 hours or 5 hours.
Usually
4 hours.
Usually
4
about
hours
two to 4.
Yeah, 2 to 4. But if it's a 2-hour shift,
Yeah.
and we've done tons of 4-hour shifts actually. So after, people think that like, oh my God, you're a DJ. Like fucking, I just played 3,600 fucking songs.
Yeah.
Literally, and it's me trying to keep the interest of strangers.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to figure out what strangers like.
Yeah. So then at the same time, like in the beginning, like who the fuck is this guy? You know what I mean?
Strangers with a very short attention span.
Yeah. And a lot of them will be like, who the fuck is this guy, or who the fuck is this chick, or whatever. And then you have to like, play 36 billion songs to get them to that point. But at the end of the day, you pack your shit up and you go home.
Yeah. You definitely do.
And now on the other end of the DJ spectrum, if you're doing a performance like let's say 2-hour max or 1 hour set, and for me now I love doing that shit now. Like that's my cup of tea, because you have that little a time to show your ass. You know what I mean? And then be out. But also at the same time, like there's a club DJ, and then there's a performance DJ.
Yeah.
So, we've worked.
I mean, sometimes the two cross.
Yeah, sometimes the two cross, but we've worked in a lot of instances where, there is a difference between, the regular person's not going to look at the club DJ and think he's a performance DJ, or you know what I mean.
No, yeah,
They're just gonna think he's a DJ.
yeah.
You know.
I mean, a lot of times we've been background music.
Oh,
A lot of times we just straight up been just background music. And
can you play Journey?
Yeah, and nobody's even there to dance at all.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
just
yeah.
there to talk to each other,
Yeah.
and we're just.
Can you turn it down just to keep it?
That's a strange thing when
Yeah.
you're in a club and they start asking you to turn it down.
Yeah, yeah.
It's because people are talking, and at that point, it's like, why'd you even hire a DJ?
Yep.
Like why'd you? I mean, I'm still charging you my fee.
Yeah.
But why'd you even bother to? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Well, the thing. Well, when you get to, there's like background, and then there's like, wait a minute, hold on. Let's turn this fucking background around. And in the beginning, it's one thing. I like. There's another thing where, background or opening DJ or headliner DJ or doing the 4 hours is people get hammered at a certain point.
Which one do you think is harder, the opener or the headliner?
The opener.
I agree. Being an opener is
The
way
headliner
harder
is
than being a
already
headliner.
the headliner can just like I don't want to say that story again about the chick, but like you roll in at fucking 11:59.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where do I plug in at? So, or plug you come in at like freaking you're a fucking rock star and you come in at 12:15 and then you suck but then oh my god, I'm talking shit. The headline, but the headliner is dude, I've even seen like shows where like performance so the DJs before the headliner were fucking amazing, and it's almost like you go and you're going to I guess the headliner is the one thing that you want to see, but then they stack the show with like beginning like the first two DJs are like those DJs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that the opening DJs actually is the actual headline part of the show, and nobody even fucking knows it. And then when you realize, and then the headliner goes on, and you're like, this guy sucks, or this person sucks, and you remember the actual like openers.
Yeah, I've actually seen that a lot, where the opening DJ is a lot better than the headliner.
Oh, so there's.
Do you think that's?
It's also hunger. Also hunger.
I was about to ask. Let me ask you this: do you think that that's a situation where whoever that in particular headliner at that time just got complacent in the fact that they're a headliner and can just kind of come and play it safe, whereas the opener is actually like still trying to get out there, so they're still pushing the envelope a little more?
They're trying to get their name out there. They're trying to show everybody they're they can be better than the fucking headliner, and then also the headliner could be like it just doesn't is the complacent one, but also at the same time like that you're on an agency that's name your name.
I mean, a lot of these headliners are playing out like 200 and something days out of the year.
Yeah.
So at a certain point they're just kind of going through the motions.
Or even freaking through 365 days a year.
Every day there.
If you DJ 300 days out of a year, I mean we've done it.
Yeah. For sure.
And I think that like even getting to that point is you will become complacent. It's just like being in a factory and you keep on, I'm gonna flip this switch for 12 hours.
Yeah,
365 days. But that 364th day, fuck this fucking. You know what I mean? So, but and also at the same time, there are some DJs that don't know what they have. And their egos and their everything, that makes them shit.
Oh, man.
So the shout out to all the freaking hungry opener DJs, because, and then also even so when you cross that, like
also the hungry headliners too.
Also,
headliners that never got
yeah,
complacent.
I feel like I'm probably freaking kicking shit on all the fucking headliners. There's a lot of dope headliners. But also, um, the dope and up and coming or the very hungry openers.
Yeah. There's also a lot of openers that are shit as well.
Well, also that's why they're open.
Yeah.
It's almost like let's just try this person out and see what happens.
Do you think that the DJ scene, like, so something that I've noticed is like I'm constantly seeing videos of new gear, and it's supposed to make DJing easy. It's like every year there's a new controller to make DJing simpler. And like at some point I wonder, like, why do we need this to be simpler? Like, it's already not rocket science. Like, how much simpler does it need to be?
Because they already know that everybody wants to be a DJ.
Yeah.
So then
Everybody wants to be a DJ.
These companies are like, and I'm not naming any companies, but hey, let's put this together, put these parts together, and fucking make some more money. And then you got the kid who either works for a living and wants to be a DJ, and then so you got the kids that want to be DJs, and then you got the kids that want to buy gear to look like DJs to say they're a fucking DJ, and these companies got them fucking all of us tricked because you come out with something in 6 months, and then 6 months later, there's some other shit that you need to fucking buy to be a DJ.
Yeah, there's always something new to try to simplify and make it easier.
It's a fucking everything is a trap.
I mean, I feel like the barrier of entry is already low enough. Like right now, it's easier to get into almost anything: music, DJing, photography, filmmaking. Like the barrier of entry right now is so low for anything creative. Like we don't need it to be easier.
Well, this is what's crazy. My daughter, she's 7, so she always watches me like play with my machine, and she's interested in music, and she's interested to the point where she'll go and she'll want to learn how to play an instrument. So I'm not saying DJing is not for talented people, but they make it so easy to where it's almost like if you wanted to be a DJ and you had to learn how to play guitar, no one would pick that shit up.
Yeah, nah. Not as many people would be doing it.
So now you got this freaking controller that's a couple $100, and it's freaking, I don't know, the size of this freaking laptop, and hey, you can be a DJ.
Yeah, act now, and you too.
Yeah, but you don't have to learn shit. You just plug it in.
literally, you just plug it in. I also feel like there's a lot of, we talked about how everyone wants to be a DJ.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like celebrities that once their celebrity starts to fade, it's like they turn to being a DJ.
Yeah.
Or athletes, right? That once their run is up, now all of a sudden they're a DJ. You know what I mean? Actors turn into DJs.
I think it's because they think that is the way for them to stay in the public eye and stay relevant with, what's going on. Because I remember, and I feel like I keep screaming this forever, but like 20 years ago, maybe even more than that, if you said I'm a DJ, people looked at you funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you're a fuck. What is that? What is that?
If you said you were a DJ, people just assume that you just kind of just hung out in your basement.
Yeah, or you were kind of a loser.
Yeah,
because you were a fanatic about music and you wanted to freaking share the music with with everybody. Now, when you say you're a DJ, I just started last night, so
yeah,
I play. I'm not gonna. I've heard people say like, you know, I just got to beat matching, you know, and they're not really beat matching.
Yeah, and that's where it's supposed to start.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to be a DJ, you know, coming from our world,
Mm-hmm.
our time in the DJ culture until you were really fucking ready to be, say you were a DJ, to come out the house.
You would never play out until you, like, at the very least had the basics down.
Yeah.
Till
Yeah.
you could mix smoothly. Like
Yeah,
you wouldn't even try to play out.
Like some people would look for, I mean, you'd have to be fucking talented
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
booked, you know. It's
At-
not that way anymore.
At what point did being a DJ become like the punchline for jokes? Like, when you really think about it, the past few years, like, there's so many memes about DJs.
Yeah,
There's so many.
I've seen
At what
some
point
shit.
at what point did we become like the punchline? Like
the meme.
yeah, that's such a strange thing. Is it because the market just got flooded with all these DJs?
I think the glamorization ruined it. I think the glamorization of so you have dope DJs, you have good DJs, you have subpar DJs, you have shit DJs, and then now it's almost like clumped into, you know, those two letters, you know. There's probably some people that don't know what the fuck DJ means. You know what I mean? Or actually,
Definitely not, because there's no more discs really.
no, they don't know. What is that? A record?
I mean, most people don't know what MC means either. They just
Yeah. I've actually heard more people. Yeah, I don't know if it's the younger generation. They like more beats than more rhymes, or more.
Yeah,
talking,
they prefer to beat over the lyrics.
Yeah, or more less talking,
less lyrics, more beats,
less rap, more
bass,
beats.
more
Yeah.
bass, less words.
Yeah.
What got you started DJing? Like what
Fucking Beat Street.
was it?
Yeah. My mom
Interesting.
took me and my brother to the fucking movies. Yeah, I'm that old. To the movies, you know, that's movies. That's where we used to go to watch.
Dude, there's still people still go to see movies.
Not at home when you freaking, you know, let's rent that movie. But he took us to the movies, and that whole Beat Street and breakdancing and that that shit changed my life. I think I wanted to be a DJ then. I just didn't. I don't know. I was too young, but that was it. That was the spark.
That's
in the
what
beginning.
sparked it off.
Yeah. And then I would go to go like, I want to say probably grade school, high school. I would just like think of. I was always just like everybody. They're always listening to the radio.
Mhm.
So at the time, it was just all rap. You know what I mean? Just constant like
On the radio.
hip-hop. Yeah, I'm constantly just listening to rap. You know, taping shit, fucking, you know, trying to be a DJ with tapes and shit. But then
Shit.
you know, I would always try to like think of stuff in my head, and then, you know, like mix stuff in my head. I didn't know fucking equipment. So
Well, yeah, of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
But air DJing.
I mean, that didn't come till obviously way later. What
Yeah.
was your first setup like?
Gemini's.
I feel like almost everyone that started on a phone turntable
It was
started off on
Gemini's and a
Gemini's.
Yamaha. I don't know what the fuck kind of mixer it was, but a Yamaha mixer, yeah. It was weird looking.
I actually started off on a set of Techniques and
Yeah.
a MTX mixer, but my girlfriend at the time, a friend of hers, was a DJ at like a sports bar,
Yeah, yeah.
and he had a set of Techniques that just sat in the trunk of his car because the club had a set.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like, I don't practice at home. And she was telling him that I wanted to be a DJ. And he was like, well, he can borrow my turntables.
That's great.
Yeah, he let me borrow them for literally like 3 months.
That's great.
And that was my first setup. And I went and got and then, and then my next setup, even crazier. So he took those back and I didn't have a setup. And then I had a buddy who went AWOL from the military.
Yeah.
He just decided, he's like, yo, I'm not doing this anymore. He was like, I'm leaving the country and I'm not coming back. And I
And
was
I
like,
was
I was
like,
like, I was like,
boom, you're
well, I was like, all right, you know, hey man, do what you do. Like, you know, I'll miss you. Like he was the homie.
yeah.
And he was like, here's what I'm doing. He went to like rent a center and, you know, rented a bunch of buddies, a bunch of stuff. Cause he was like, I'm not coming back.
Oh, he went
And
so
so,
he
yeah.
went all in.
Yeah, so then he went to like, you know, the equivalent of like a Guitar Center or a Sam Ash or whatever, right,
Yeah.
at the time, and rented a full like 2 turntables, a mixer,
Yeah, you could.
a couple of speakers.
That's
and
crazy.
Then,
You could do that shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then he was like, here you go. And then he was like, I'm dipping. And then he dipped. Never heard from him again. I don't know where he's at now, but
And
that
you're like, thank you.
yeah, that was my first personal setup. But that's how I got it. He rented it. I think we paid like $160 for the
That's
rental.
crazy.
And then
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy.
so you started off on Geminis,
Yeah. What is it?
belt drive Geminis. Yeah,
Or
because
direct-
techniques.
No,
'cause
no. I think they
Techniques,
were direct drive, but it wasn't.
it wasn't
That
quartz.
wasn't fucking direct drive. I mean, it
Yeah.
just said it, but it wasn't. You had to push the fucking record
Yeah,
and shit. And
definitely belt driven.
yeah, that was
Because
that
I know
was
Techniques
weird.
patented that, like their system that they had, they patented that.
Yeah,
Like what is it, that quartz drive
yeah,
or whatever it
yeah,
was,
yeah.
and no other. I think that's why Technique basically became the king of turntables,
Oh,
is
yeah.
because they patented that, and that was like the way to go.
yeah.
You know, it's
I
kind of
think
like
techniques are always, even the ones that are from the 70s and 80s. If you got a pair from the 70s, 80s, 90s, I mean, they're like tanks.
yeah.
They're
If
like
you find a
fucking
pair of
tanks,
Techniques
dude.
that don't work properly, that means whoever owns them have taken complete shit care of them.
Yeah,
Because I've seen Techniques drop down a set of stairs and still function like the way
Yeah.
they're supposed to.
yeah.
So whenever I used to go to clubs and like their techniques were just beat to hell and didn't work, I'm like, what the hell were y'all doing?
Yeah,
Were y'all wrestling with these things,
Yeah.
or like?
yeah. They're not in cases.
I feel like almost every club has like 1 or 2 techniques in them that just are beat to hell.
We know a few of them. It's almost like, also at the same time, it's like, what? Why are they just? They're just those are the lonely ones at the club.
Yeah,
They're just sitting there,
for sure.
just stuffed away, just forgotten.
At that point, just give them away.
You might, yeah.
You might as well just give them to
Give them
somebody,
to a fucking customer. Shit.
Yeah,
Hey, you want to
yeah.
use this?
or give them to an aspiring DJ and be like,
Yeah.
here you go.
Yeah.
Fix these and learn on them.
Yeah.
Instead of just having them sit
Yeah.
in storage.
I think that give him to a homeless guy. Shit.
Something. Give them somewhere.
He'll fuck it.
Don't donate them.
He might fuck it up. He might be the next.
Let me ask you this. How long do you think it's going to be before, like, so I have a theory that most artistic endeavors at some point are going to require a certification or a certificate. Like, think about this, right? like as a barber, okay?
Yeah.
There's really no reason that you should have to be certified or have a diploma to be a barber. Barbers used to do bloodletting.
Yeah.
Like they used to like cut people and bleed them out to cure disease and stuff. They don't do that no more.
Yeah.
So there's really no point to have to get certified to be a barber.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Get your barber
Yeah,
papers.
just like massage, right? If you're not doing medical massage, there's really no point in you having to have gone to school
Yeah.
to rub somebody down with oil.
Yeah.
Now, if you're doing therapeutic massage, I understand that. And so, like, how long is it before? Because, you see DJ schools popping up everywhere now.
Yeah.
And people are getting certificates at these DJ schools.
Yeah.
How long before clubs are going to start trying to only book DJs that are, like, certified?
It's probably gonna be. I mean, if you look at all this shit right now with the saturation and everything, it might get. I say might because you never know. It might not.
Yeah,
You
it
know
might
what I
not might not happen.
So, it probably, if it does happen, I feel like if it does happen, we have all the content or all the, if somebody is certified. You can do that shit on camera.
Yeah.
You can do that shit on, you know what I mean? So like, I don't want to say like I would get a certification, or whatever, but I think I have enough freaking footage.
Oh yeah. Oh,
to give
for
me those,
sure.
to give
Yeah.
me those papers
To get this,
you know?
yeah, for sure. I just think it'd be kind of weird that, you know, why would you need a certification for that? It's just like photography, right?
Yeah.
If you're good, you're good. Why would
Yeah.
you need, like film, right? It used to be you would never be able to get to direct a movie if you never went to film school.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But why do you need to go to film school? Like,
Well,
if you're creative and you know your shit, why
Yeah.
do you need film school?
I think, I mean, even now, like, there's so many careers and so many outlets that you can be what you want to be. You know what I mean? Without
Mhm.
any kind of certification,
Yeah.
without any kind of um, 13-year
Yeah.
after high school freaking education, because
For-
that shit
for
is
now.
fucking crazy.
Yeah. For now.
For now, yeah.
I mean, because like you think, a few years ago there wasn't DJ schools,
no.
and now
I-
there is.
This is what's crazy in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands. They have, so there's DJ schools,
Mhm.
and then there's like marketing promoter schools.
Really.
Like, you can get a fucking job. Okay, so you can go to school. They have fucking school for like expert promo marketing parties,
Oh,
like on that level.
So like you can go to school to be a party promoter.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you can learn the right ways of, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, and then get that, I guess, certification,
or at least their way of doing it.
yeah, that certification degree. And
Because I mean, what necessitates the right way? You know what I'm saying? It's
I
kind of
think-
like
I think I think there, though, I think that, yeah, I mean, even in like Europe, as far as even standards, they've gotten to the point where they've figured out, like,
yeah.
the right way of doing it. I don't want to say we stole their shit, but
Well, the thing that worries me about a lot of the DJ schools is that, like, what if there becomes a right way to DJ? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is how you rock a party. This is how you rock this. This is how you do. This is how you DJ at this type of place.
Yeah.
This is how you DJ at that type of place. And then it starts to become uniform, and it starts to get away from the creativity
Yeah.
that is the basis of DJing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I remember teaching.
Yeah, for sure.
And I at one point I was like, I'm trying to teach these people how to be DJs, but also at the same time, am I giving up too much of myself for them to become, you know what I mean?
For them to become you.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then also at the same time, like at one point I was like, this is hard. Especially trying to DJ before, like, coming in like hammered, we were talking about all that. And then, hey, let's teach.
Is teaching harder than just DJing?
I mean, teaching to some is fucking hard as it's hard as fuck, because if they don't know what the fuck, right or left is, it could be a long session. But also on the flip side of that, learning, actually, like, finding with me doing a few years of it, actually finding like some people from it, some kids from it, some adults from it. Like, I think one of the best parts of it was I taught one guy. He was like in his 50s or probably close to 60s.
Oh, really?
And freaking like picking up on everything. So in a way, I was helping that, and also watching people like grow from it. So, on one end at one time I felt like, yes, I felt like I was giving a lot of myself away, but then also on the other, it's almost like I was actually passing the baton to somebody, like, because the first thing that I would say to them in the beginning, if they really wanted to learn, why do you want to be a DJ?
Mm.
Like, why do you really want to be a DJ? And if you tell me some fucking wrong answer shit, I'll look at you funny, and you're gonna waste your money.
Like, what's a wrong answer? They want to be DJ for the popularity. They want to be, they want to be famous.
That's not even about the fucking music. It's about I want to be popping, and I'm like, if it's not about the music at first, then none of that shit's gonna fucking pan out for you.
It definitely has to start with the music.
Yeah, you have to have a love for music.
I mean, obviously the money is helpful.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people that say it's not about the money, are already making a bunch of money.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's kind of easy to say it's not about the money when your belly's full.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean.
Well,
your car has gas in it and all that stuff. Like,
yeah.
it's easy at that point to say it's not about the money.
Yeah, but what about when I mean, shit. Here's the thing. You could want to be a DJ and full-time DJ, and anybody out there that would like to start DJing, want to be a full-time DJ, and think the grass is greener on the other side. There's peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, when you're peaking, I mean, remember when we first started, we were like, it's super peaks, super party. It was good times. But when you hit the valley part, there should be an actual class for that part because it's when you're like, oh, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. But then when you get to a certain point when you're like, okay, I'm a full-time DJ, there's no full-time work, or there's no, I'm not getting full-time calls. Like, you don't see that shit, or you don't hear about that. The glamorous part you hear, but you don't hear the part where, why aren't you like up? There's there have been some questions. Why aren't you DJing?
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? Like,
people don't post that part on Instagram.
That shit fucking hurts, dude. Like, why aren't you DJing? Or like, if that is a vital part of your life, because I think that there's some people that like, I think there's some people that like, it's, you were born to be a DJ, or you were born to be a performer. I wouldn't even call it DJ. And if you take that away, like, post-traumatic stress syndrome, or like you'll go through some shit.
Go through withdrawals.
So, I've done it a few times. I've went through. I've been like, fuck all this shit.
Yeah, I feel like you've retired from DJing like since I've known you about like 3 times.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you would go from
maybe more, but there was
I'm talking about the times that I've known you, that I've like been around you about 3 times that I can remember.
Yeah.
3 major times.
Yeah.
There's been those days where you're like, I think I'm done with this, but I'm talking about like 3 times, major times.
Yeah,
I stepped away.
I fucking dipped.
Yeah.
It was probably like, yo, where's John at? Fucking, I don't know.
I haven't seen him in months. Yeah, I feel like you went from DJing literally 2 to 3 clubs a night on the weekends to like, and then you were like, fuck this, I'm done.
There was a point where we were DJing. Me and you together were, at a high point DJing like 5-6 nights a week. Me and Kosher Cuts were talking about like that time.
At the very least, it was about I think at the lowest, it was like 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And then at sometimes it was like 5,
7,
5. Yeah, there was some weeks where it was 7.
Yeah. 6 days a week.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot
on some consistent times. But I know that like I probably the first time, one of the noticeable times that when I stopped DJing and was like, fuck all this shit, was when I probably a year or two before I was just I was just too far into a lot of shit. Into my self destruction, you know.
Mm.
And yeah, I was like, yeah, fuck all this shit. I'm gonna go freaking do bad stuff.
I mean, you dug yourself out of that for sure.
Oh yeah, it was a freaking hole though. It was a major hole.
How long did that take?
That took forever. That took like so. If anybody asks me like how long you've been DJing, if I say 20 years or more than that, or 20, let's say 22 years or 23 years, 25 years, 15 of that I was fucked up. Like 15 of that, I'm almost like 15 doesn't count. You know what I mean? Like 15, I'm like 15 of that or 12 of that, I was like constantly raving.
How bad did things get during that like 15 years?
It got bad, super bad. It got bad to the point where I was going to meetings. So 2000. So I got clean in 2007.
Right.
So, I'm 13 and I'm almost 14 years clean now.
Right.
So, 2000.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you. As a motherfucker. But I felt like when we were going to like Metropolis and we were kicking it and dancing and DJing, doing all that stuff, like the fun stuff, like that stuff was like memorable, like forever, like memories. You know what I mean? But there was a darker side to that that I got into. Not even that, like the streets and all this crazy shit that I think that. When you're younger and you're trying to fit in, but then you're trying to, I guess we're from a culture that from then that we were like, so we were competitive with ourselves. Even when it came to, drinking, drugs, whatever, you know what I mean? So
trying to outdo each other.
Yeah, trying to outdo yourself. You know what I mean?
Oh, yourself.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And then also competing with everybody else too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can do this and I could do that and I could do this. But that I feel like that took 13 years of my life. Straight. Like I could say, and then it was, it just it started with one thing and just kept going and like more and more and more.
What was the what
Drugs.
would you say like what like started it all?
The drugs?
Yeah.
I think you know what? I think that how they talk about gateway shit.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say it was weed or anything like that, but I think it was the actual gateway was you didn't ever want the party to stop.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So I think that even me as a DJ now, I still have that, but it's not with drugs. Anyway.
Now it's with food.
Now it's with food, and now it's with we'll talk about that in a little bit. But you never wanted to. I feel like I never wanted the party to stop, and then also I think I didn't want to grow up. You know what I mean? I was in like Toys R Us fucking kid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Forever
fucking young. And then I'm not saying I'm not, I don't act like that now because I always feel like if you tell yourself you're old, you're just gonna be fucking old. You know what I mean? Oh,
yeah.
The I don't know, when we used to party with some of the people back in the day and you see them now and they're like, I'm old. No, you're just fucking telling yourself that, and you're not really.
And because of that, they look like hell.
Oh shit! Some of them look like they've. And at one point, you're like, you used to. Now you look like an old ass rug. Fuck. Somebody asked me too. Oh man, it was the other day. It was Sunday. I went out to that Renegade thing.
Yeah.
and I seen this one dude, and he goes, "Man," he was like, "How do you keep the gray out?" And I told
like,
him, I was like, "Yo, maybe it was the drugs that kept me."
or because you stopped.
yeah, and I stopped. What do they say this in also in your drug habilitation? You become your mental age when you stop doing drugs.
Really?
So if you stopped, if you started when you were 18
Mm-hmm.
or 21, and then years later you stop. Let's say you even stop when you're 50.
Right.
You become that age.
You become 50.
You become 21 again.
Oh, you become.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mentally, because
Okay.
you've it's almost like you've stopped everything. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you
Because
kinda lost- you
because
lost
you
all
want
that
to
time.
be you want to be numb through
Yeah.
the whole years and years and years.
Hmm.
But some people, it doesn't fucking do shit. Like, fuck.
Some people, it don't work that way.
Jesus Christ, you look like shit.
Oh,
I did
man.
more. You did shit. You did more than me. And what the hell happened? Yes, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's supposed to preserve you on the inside.
Yeah. Shit.
So what was it that got you clean from all that?
So what got me clean is I don't know, the suicide. Trying to think. I think also a big part of it was self-doubt. You know, my mom passed away and my grandma passed away 2002, I think. I'm fucking it up. My
think so.
grandmother did, and then my mom passed away in '99. So like, I just came to this like epiphany the other day with like, when I can't relate now to when somebody's like, "Yo, I'm hanging out with my mom." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the other day, I came to this like, I don't know, like worldly conclusion. I've lost my parents 3 times three times in life. First was
Really?
with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no. I'm sorry. First with my dad.
Oh yeah.
Because he left in the beginning.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it. And then lost my mom. Then lost my grandma. So no, 4 times. And then lost my dad.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it had to do with my mom was, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's your
That's your
you
rock.
come out of the womb. That's always you could. I don't want to say you can do some terrifying shit, and your mom is always gonna love you.
Yeah, she's always.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can go, I don't know, do some crazy shit, and your mom's gonna be like, "Yeah, I still love you."
There's
you know what I mean?
There's murderers in jail right now
Yeah.
still getting visits from their mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yep.
Every day. So I think a lot of it had to do with that, and even before that, I think a lot of self-doubt and self-doubt and low self-esteem, and even back then I was like, I always thought it was like the end of the world. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just freaking
Yeah.
I'm gonna take as much as, what is that? Oh, I'll take it all. But it wasn't until I became functional. I became a functional addict, and then I became not so fucking functional.
You became dysfunctional.
Just really fucking dysfunctional. And I remember going to an AA meeting once, and they were like, "You're not supposed to be here."
Wait, really?
Yeah, wrong.
Oh yeah, because that's for alcohol. Yeah.
Wrong meeting, buddy.
Oh wow.
And they were like, wait, do you drink? Do you drink because you know, want to drink and that's, you know, your main goal. And I'm like, no, I drink, you know, partially when I'm doing a bunch of drugs. So it makes me want to drink. And then they're like, wait, wrong fucking, wrong answer, buddy.
Wrong meeting.
Go to the other room.
So, well, you never told me, what was it that got you clean?
So, okay. January 9th, 2006.
My birthday? Wow.
Oh, no, wait. What was it? No, no. Yeah, your birthday. 2007.
Okay.
I came home from Amsterdam. I was in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And this was my second time there. The first time was pretty crazy, but that's a lot of stories. Right there. We could talk about that too. That was some crazy shit. Yeah, but you know, me and Coco, we were dating long distance for about a year, and then the second time, you know, I go to this country where drugs are legal. I didn't do a lot of drugs there.
Okay.
I actually drank a lot. I've discovered Belgian beer, which is awesome. But came home that day. My brother locked me out of the house.
Oh, wow.
Changed the locks.
The house you grew up in?
Changed the locks, yeah. Completely changed the locks. Locked the doors.
Damn.
Was in my at the time I think I had an escort. It was this piece of shit escort. And I had some money. And I went and got a shitload of drugs. There was a you know, a buddy of mine at the time. He was just a ingrate, just like I was. And we got together, did a bunch of shit, and then I think the next day, the 10th, I was like, "Fuck, I gotta find a place to live." And then, I called my cousin Romel. I called him. Oh no, wait. I'm sorry, I'm skipping some shit. I fucking slept in my car, and then was like, shit, I need to freaking figure out some shit. And then I was like, I was already tired at that point. You know what I mean? 13 years straight, like trying to beat yourself, or you know what I mean? Either trying to beat yourself or kill yourself.
Yeah.
You know? So
you were sleeping in your car at this point?
Yeah, I was sleeping in my car at that point.
Were you still DJing and going out and whatnot?
I wasn't doing anything.
So you were just sleeping in your car?
I was like, so what is that called? You're just taken away from the world. Like,
yeah,
I was
like a sabbatical.
I was just like out of the world.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Not in the real world. I was like in my own fucked up land. So it was you know, I don't want to sound like a commercial. Enough is enough. So I called Romel, and he was like, "Okay, well, you can stay with us." And I was like, "Okay." And I remember,
is that where all the dogs were?
Yeah, fucking shit. Dude. There's a shitload of dogs.
What were those? Were those like Pomeranians?
Shout out to Joyce with all the dogs.
Yeah, it was like a bunch of Pomeranians or something like that.
Little
50 Pomeranians in that house.
Yeah, they had like a Pomeranian, like a ring going on. I don't know. Anybody could get a Pomeranian. But yeah, that was it. And then so 2000. So my clean date in January 10th will be 14 years. But that day was the first day I went to fucking sleep.
Really?
Yeah, I went to sleep.
So
Because
like,
I was pretty
you
much
weren't-
like fucking not sleeping for 13 years.
yeah,
Like
'cause-
really,
yeah,
like, you know, when you talk about not sleeping, I remember like
that was you for.
never. I was the champion in not sleeping
I do remember
and
like
being
getting.
fucking lost.
I do remember getting like texts from you from at weird hours of the night, and I used to always think it was odd that you were also awake
Yeah,
because I never meet people that stay up like I do
yeah.
naturally.
You'd be like, what? It's 5 and it's 4:30 in the morning.
Like weird times, like 4:26.
yeah. What the fuck you calling
Like
me
3:57.
for? Yeah, what the fuck are you calling me for? Shit. But yeah, it was like hardcore. It was like I was on like this mission to be just in one sense hardcore, and then in another like I always like even then I always felt like it was the end of the world. I always had that map. The back. I think I don't know why, but I always thought that shit.
I was about to ask, what made you feel that way? Like things were just going to end? Was it the drugs or was it?
I think it was just stuck in my head. Like one day I was just like, you know how like you get just paranoid and shit.
No. No, I have no idea.
I think I had it stuck in my mind when I was really really young. I think when you're when I was young, freaking shithead 17 or 18-year-old. Oh, you think you're invincible, but then I felt like I was invincible, but we're gonna die tomorrow.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna try to do as much crazy shit as possible
While you're here,
and it never happened.
the world never ended.
Shit didn't even 99. Like I was like, oh, let me do all this crazy stuff, and then nothing happened. I think I made a post about it one time, and I was talking about like ecstasy and shit. And I was like, yeah, I did a shitload of ecstasy, and, like thinking shit, everything was gonna shut down, and nothing did.
Nothing shut down at all.
And then I was like, shit, I might as well do more.
The next day came, and it was just
A regular fucking day.
buses were running.
Yeah. Shit wasn't completely.
Nothing was on fire.
Yeah. I feel like not to bring now up, but now is when I'd be like, fuck, shit's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was always false alarm then, but it was the young, dumb, full of cum, craziness, and what made me stop that night was, I think Europe, and also being with Coco. Coco's my wife. I don't know anybody. Like it showed me a different perspective.
Mm.
You don't have to be. You don't have to be all. You know what I mean? I don't have to be like this.
Yeah.
There's a different world out there. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop, and went to sleep, and it started with the first day.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Second day. When I got to the 30th day, then I was like, okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I can do this shit. So I went, I didn't, I was on paper before on, some we won't talk about. But yeah, I think I was listening to the podcast with Andre, with the meetings and all that shit, getting stamped and all that. I did the shit out of that. I did the fuck out of that, and I did the whole like 3. I think I was like 3 years stamping the shit. You need to go to 936 meetings. You know what I mean? Drug tests and all that shit. Like, I did that. I did it was almost like that was like the what I was supposed to do, but I wasn't doing it for that reason. Then it was like the prelims for what was gonna happen.
Oh, okay.
So
gotcha.
like doing that wanting to do that was a different story. You know what I mean? So then going to one meeting, they say that 90 meetings.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You knock out 90 meetings, you keep going. But what helped me too was I met a guy that was like 50 something years old, heroin addict. 50, yeah, he was like 50, 55 or 60. He was old. And I'm not being a dick, but he was fucking old. He was clean for 25 years.
Really?
25 years, and everybody in the meetings were like, "Yo, this dude's 25 years clean."
Mm-hmm.
And then one day he doesn't show up.
Really?
Yeah. So that was and then he I guess he got a bunch of crack and fell off. But also at the same time, like that also showed me like, yo, if I don't do this shit, I'm gonna fucking end up like that dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah, that it like recognizing that you want to get better instead of worse is awesome.
I mean, it's a hell of a revelation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But then after the 30 days, the 90 days, the 6 months, I think one of them was I wanted to get back into DJing again.
So you weren't DJing at this time?
Not really, no.
Oh, okay.
No. It was almost like, I took so long of a break that like, and also at the same time, like that's when stuff started to get digital, like more digital.
Okay, yeah.
Because the first time I ever seen a Serato box was 2005 with A-Track.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? I was freaking DJing at Spy. And
I don't even know if that was. I think that might have been a Final Scratch box.
No, that was Serato.
Was it Serato box? Because I know Final Scratch came first.
Final Scratch, yeah. The first, those are the also stories too. When I was on drugs, the first time I seen a Serato box was with, or not Serato box, Final Scratch box was with Craze.
Yeah, Yeah, I had seen it before that because you used to have to run Linux in order to run it.
Yeah.
And I remember it was on.
Ain't that crazy though? Like, okay, what we were just talking about with the technology.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be a super fucking nerd. To run that shit to DJ.
I remember telling people about it, and I'm like, yeah, you got to run Linux, and you got to it's kind of open source, so you got to kind of code it a little bit yourself, and the box was huge. I remember watching it on Tech TV with Leo Laporte and Patrick Norton, I think it was Patrick Norton, but two people that are completely not DJs at all and not even really into music, but it was tech. Yeah. So they were talking about it, and it was like, it was very convoluted how you had to run it. And then they streamlined it, and then the next time I saw it,
became revolutionary.
In person was when Craze was at Metropolis that night, I think.
I remember I was following him around like a freaking puppy.
Yeah, I think I actually helped him with a couple of his drivers that night because there was a couple of hangups, and I think I helped him out that night, like before, because Tic Tac brought him in, right?
No, I think it was Nick D.
Was it Nick D?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Tic Tac.
Yeah, it was Nick D. Yeah. But that also those are times when those are like those specific times, even with the DJing and when I wasn't DJing, like the Serato box and like these were like things that were like it was almost like precursor to shit that was gonna happen. Yeah. Or eventually happen. Yeah. But trying to go, it was almost like I want to get back into DJing, but also at the same time I want to do it clean. You know what I mean? Yeah. So us going into a fucking bar in 2007 or into a club was like Red Bull and fucking juice or water, and that was it. You know what I mean? And then we met, I don't know, like bumped into each other at like Mercury or some shit.
I think it was.
It
was Mercury.
And then, then that was a big help too. You know what I mean? Because I think that's
around the time that we went digital.
Yeah, we went digital, but also at the same time, like being an addict or being alcoholic, you can't hang out with a bunch of alcoholics, or you know what I mean? Yeah. Or being an addict, Can't just be like, yeah, let's freaking hang out with fucking everybody that, still
Can't hang
does.
out with people that are going to be doing lines of coke in the bathroom.
Freaking snort it up, and you're just standing there like, no, I can't fucking snort anything up anymore. So, that was a big part of it. Like, surrounding yourself with like people that like, are not that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then also at the same time, just the passion from like wanting to do it again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, I guess I managed to hold a job through all this. Like, what's crazy was I managed to successfully, through all my crazy shit, like successfully hold like a good construction job.
Yeah, I was about to say, weren't you working construction?
I was in
time?
construction, and bro, like even like, so when
you even had an apartment and stuff,
bro, like I remember getting a $1,000 check in a week doing construction, and I thought I was the shit because before all that, like, you want to be the man, or you want to, do all this dirt, and you want to do a gangster shit. But all that shit, from doing all that shit to then getting actually a legitimate job. Getting a legitimate job at one point, and then I think I left the job too for a little bit, but then I managed to jump back in and keep a job. You know what I mean?
the entire time.
It was fucked up. It was crazy. It was like shit. So, when I first got my like first legal check, and then, to me it was like, oh my God, this is awesome. I'm a baller, blah blah blah. But when I got clean, fuck, I was able to work circles. You know what I mean? So I almost dived into working. Like, fucking, you need me to work? I'll fucking work everywhere. You know what I mean? I'm about to get money. You know what I mean?
I feel like I distinctly remember you working literally like all
Dude,
the time.
I was working. I feel like, and Coco can attest to this. I have two modes: slow mode, or like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing shit, or I will fucking do everything. You know what I mean? Like, there's no in between. There's like I'll go super crazy style, or I won't do anything else.
It's like, it's very binary. It's either 0-1, you're not
Yeah.
doing anything,
Yeah.
or 1-0,
Yeah.
you're doing all the things.
It's always I'm either gonna go 0 to 60 and just 60 or 0. So I don't know if anybody's probably following. They were like, what the fuck? So 2007, want to get back into DJing, but also at the same time, I wanted to get back into DJing, I was fuck, I gotta pay rent. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta make money. I gotta be a job. You
gotta eat.
You gotta eat. But also at the same time, I feel like I tried not to fucking do all that shit when I was younger because I grew up Filipino, and I don't wanna make it like it's a Asian thing or a Asian parent thing, but like they want you to be. They want you to be the best. They want you to do the they want you to be one of them's a lawyer. Oh no, or in how my grandma would say, attorney. A freaking nurse, a doctor, all that stuff. And I think that when I was growing up, I felt like maybe I was the outcast because I didn't want to do any of that shit.
Oh,
So maybe a lot of everybody was like, what the fuck does this kid want to do? And you know what I mean? And I guess I fought with it. I fought with like, you need a job or you don't need a job. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
on one end, I was like, this crazy kid. But then on another end, I was fighting myself about like okay, well, let's just get a job, and you know what I mean, like
Right.
let's be programs. And a lot of people are probably gonna be like, no, I'm fucking part of the program. But you know, that I jumped into getting clean. I jumped into working. I tried to get a routine, go to work, come home from work. You know what I mean? Just basic everyday routine. And then I don't know. There was one night I think I had my records and we went to fucking Mercury and shit.
I think it was
So
Mercury.
I had a box of records. We were just kind of getting into. I think Coach got a Final Scratch box, and then we were just kind of like fucking with that shit.
No, I
You know
bought
what
the
mean?
Final Scratch box.
You bought the Final Scratch, but I
Yeah.
remember like who I can remember vividly like who it came from first.
Yeah,
Who
I think
So
Co-
it came
I think-
from one
I think-
person and then went to another person and then
Yeah, and then I bought it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then it was like I think at the time it was like transitioning from like playing records. Like remember we used to bring some records with us
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah, just in case,
Yeah.
in case shit didn't work.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we were gonna start DJing, I was like, all right, we gotta go digital. So I went and I got a laptop, I got the Serato box,
Yep.
I bought the vinyl, not the Serato box, the Final Scratch box.
Yeah.
And then we were on like a Windows computer for a while. And then I got us a MacBook. And I was like, this is the shit.
Remember that? I can vividly remember that one day, or like, yo, we're gonna download all this shit.
All of it. Well, so something that I tell people a lot, I had been preparing for the digital movement like for a long time. So
Yeah.
even when like Napster was around,
Yeah.
I was downloading stuff, and I was constantly like, even records that I already had, I would still download them because I don't know, for some reason I just felt like eventually there was going to be a way to play these,
yeah.
And there was already people at parties like bringing their towers
Yeah.
and putting 2 sound cards in them
Yeah.
so that they could DJ from their tower.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the biggest. So with technology, like the first iteration of it,
Yeah.
this is something we always say in the tech world. That's the biggest and clunkiest that it will ever be.
Yeah.
So from there, it's only going to get smaller. It's only going to get more streamlined.
That shit was big as fuck. It was
Yeah,
a tower
yeah,
and
it
a
was-
fucking big ass crazy
Yeah.
fucking monitor.
I mean, the
and
first
shit.
Final Scratch box was literally the size of a car amp. Like it was.
Oh, yeah, it was freaking
yeah, it
huge,
was
yeah.
legitimately the size of a car. It looks like I still have it. I actually still have it
That thing-
in my bedroom. It's the size of a car amp.
Yeah, that's like 1,000 watt amp.
But yeah. But at the same time, I was like, this is the biggest that this is ever going to be.
Yeah.
So it's only going to get smaller. I mean, now it's like a Serato box is like literally like that
Yeah, yeah,
big. You know
yeah.
what I mean? They fit in the mixer now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're in the mixer, yeah.
But yeah, I distinctly remember us bringing records just in case this shit freezes up, whatever happens. I think for that whole first year, we would bring some records with
Yeah,
us.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we stopped bringing records.
Yeah,
for
but
like
here's
that
the
whole first
here's
year.
the thing about that. Even that year, 2007. Okay, so 2007, 2008, 2009. Not every like the digital thing was coming. It was coming in, and it was coming in hot, but also at the same time, like I remember at one point, like there'd be a lot of people that'd be like, "No, I'm not a fucking do that shit." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking play records and fucking I'm gonna be gonna be the best
Yeah.
DJ in the world with these fucking records.
People were fighting it.
Oh,
tooth and nail.
dude, it was like haters. Like
Yeah.
it was like freaking politics.
There was even people that would ask me if I put the post-it notes over the box where the WAV file is in Serato. Do you put the post-it note over there? And I was like, why would I do that? And they're like, so you're actually DJing without looking at the
At the
WAV file.
waveform,
And I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
why the fuck would I want to do that?
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've been playing on records for years.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna use the technology for what it is. Like, even now today, there's people that are weirded out by us because we don't use headphones.
Yeah.
And I tell them, because somebody asked me, why does John not use headphones? And I'm like, John's been DJing for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like he if there's anybody that knows the music by now, it's him.
Yeah.
You know, like I've been playing on records for a long time. I know my music. I listen to my music a lot. I set up my cue points. Like I do all that stuff because we had to do that with records before.
Yeah.
We had to listen to our records, figure out what goes with what.
Yeah.
If you want to put a cue, dropping a cue point on a record isn't as easy as putting one.
Yeah, you're gonna put a freaking sticker on a
Yeah,
record. I'm just gonna
so-
place this in this direct, in this center point here, and it's gonna drop.
I mean,
it's gonna happen.
That's pretty much what you had to do. So,
Yeah.
you know, at this point now, it's like once you've been doing something long enough, it pretty much becomes second nature. So once the technology catches up to you, because it took a while for the technology to catch up to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once the technology,
I think at one point I was like, I think I was in the beginning like, I'm still gonna play records. You know what I mean? I'm gonna learn this stuff, but I'm still gonna try to play records. And then when I was like, no, fuck that shit. You know what I mean?
that back started telling you, nah, fam, you ain't playing these records no more.
Fuck that shit.
It's kind of like when I made the move to CDJs. I literally,
I think CDJs, you know, I love turntables, and whoever wants to whatever with me, I love CDJs because they're just fucking amazing.
I like them. I like them because they're light.
And they're light as fuck.
I went online and I looked it up, and like a technique is like 35, 40 pounds without the case.
We got
you put a case on it, you're looking at like 50, 60 pounds.
We got
each.
Popeye arms because of that shit.
Yeah.
Popeye arms.
A CDJ is like 13, 14 pounds.
You can throw it up to the
you literally can. Now they're not as sturdy. If you drop them, they're fucked.
No.
But don't drop them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's so much heavier.
Yeah.
And especially there was a time where most of the clubs didn't have gear.
Yeah.
And you had to bring stuff. So we had to bring turntables every fucking.
Fuck those clubs.
We literally had to bring turntables to every venue.
Bro, I don't know. I think that maybe we were the ones that maybe were like, fucking get some fucking equipment or
buy something.
I think maybe we were the ones that were yelling at people and fucking maybe part of it, but like, and now it's cool, but also at the same time, then you know you upgrade it to your equipment, and then all this other shit is fucked up. so it's like you're looking for a turntable, and you grab a turntable, and the tone arm is sticking 90 degrees up in the air and shit, and you're like, that's not supposed to look like that.
At
you know
all.
what I mean? So, it's a. You know, I feel like so going back to like trying to get clean and everything, that a lot of that helped me, and then, you know, work, and then you know, I was in a long distance relationship with someone that a part of what she seen before was like unimaginative. I think I'm saying fucking it all up. I only graduated 4th grade. It was like, she knew I was this person, but she didn't know I was this fucking person. You know what I mean? All crazy style.
Yeah.
So I had in the beginning of me like trying to get clean, I had to like become like this other person. You know what I mean? Like a person, upstanding citizen in society. So going for, you know, trying to be a DJ, and then working full time, and then trying to be a DJ at night, like when we were like, yeah, we're gonna fucking do this shit. It was like, okay, let's fucking go. And I remember there was one time fucking
Oh boy.
So I don't know what was so DJ's entry level into
Are you talking about
entry level into getting booked at a nightclub or getting your night or whatever. Rather one time I was like, Tiger, you got to do something.
Oh, you tried to pawn me off on that chick. This dude tried to pawn me off on this chick that was gonna get us. We ain't gonna talk about which club it was, but they wanted a DJ and she was connected, and this fool tried to
take one for the team, dog.
Oh man.
So but here's the thing, like now, I don't know. It's probably all about like how marketable you are, how many people you fucking have following you, how many people fucking follow your shit. That shit gets fucking all looked at.
Yeah,
you know
for
what I
sure.
mean? You don't gotta be a dope DJ.
There's a lot of whack DJs that have a ton of followers and they get gigs from
it. But yeah, then it was almost like this is what we had to do to pull that shit off. And then from there was like off to the fucking races. And it was almost like in the beginning, like that time, it was like that shit kept me freaking clean because I was on like I was on a mission with you. You know what I mean? And 2007, 2008, 2009 is like when you can play fucking whatever the fuck whatever the fuck you wanted, and if it worked, it worked. If it didn't work, you figure out something to fucking
if it didn't work, you had to get out of it quick.
Yeah. So then that shit happened, and then Coco came. It was 2008. Coco came. And then that then everything just started. It was almost like everything like I don't know if I talked to somebody about this shit, but like in the beginning of your life, there are these things that happen that you don't understand, but you're going down that road and everything right is happening, right?
Right.
And then you hit a fucking detour. And I hit the fucking, you're supposed to go right? I did a U-turn. I did a fucking U-turn. I freaking did a 360 out of that motherfucker. So there was then you're not following what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
If I can get, I don't know if that's spiritual or
it's something
in super in depth about like life and shit. But, when that started happening, all this, then good shit started happening. You know what I mean? So then, fast forward to Coco being here, and then now we're getting married. I was still working like a fucking asshole, but also at the same time, I was working like an asshole. I think until like 2012 because I thought that was what you were supposed to do. I thought that I thought that in my, you know what I mean, in my mind, you know what I mean, you need to have a job, and you know what I mean. I was like, when you're born, that they basically freaking throw that shit at you, like, yo, you're supposed to freaking get a job, get married, blah blah blah, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out that's not it.
No, not at all.
That's not it. I found out later though. I found out that like if you're trying to be somebody, or you're trying to prove your parents wrong, you're trying to prove your relatives wrong, you're trying to prove them wrong, with following, if growing up and trying, it's almost like, do people do things for their peers or their family or because they're trying to do what they were taught, they were told to do, or what life was programming them to do,
Right.
Or on the other hand, like if you were supposed to be an artist and you're, pushing a broom,
Right.
drop the fucking broom
And
you know
go
what I
be an
mean?
artist.
And go be an artist. But some people are that scared because they're so programmed into thinking, well, this is security, this is this, this is that, and the security part for me was like, I'm getting money and everything, but I had to I had to run into a wall for
Okay.
the job aspect of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was working. I was doing construction. I mean, before that, I would think I was a cook.
Weren't you working at a pizza spot for a while?
Oh yeah. Shout out Todd. Shout out. but that was fucking so that was also like even part of it too. That was the part of the sobriety also, like keeping myself busy, keeping myself, I construction job in the daytime, pizza spot, and then we'd be like, yo, let's go DJ.
Yeah.
Until fucking 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning.
After you just worked a 16-hour
Yeah.
day.
And then I have to turn around, go to bed for 3 fucking hours, and then get back up, and then, like, I think my wife, I think Coco was like, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. Yeah, I'm fucking, I have 2 hours of sleep, and I gotta do this shit all over again. So, fast forward to then getting married. Shit for us was moving in like a crazy direction. That's why I look at like, I look at like I look at some younger DJs now, and I'm like, that's me and Thaiger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
They have that fucking drive, and they have that, you know what I mean, that push. But it's also a different game now. Like there's a
yeah, it's a whole different game.
It's a whole different game. But then that happened. Got married, still was hustling legally, working, trying to DJ. Also, when we linked up with Coach was like, it was almost like inspirational, I think, at the time when that fucker, I'm like working at a pizza, we're at the pizza spot.
Yeah.
And Coach is like, I'm going to quit my job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was like, holy shit, you're going to quit your job? You know what I mean?
I mean, he was also DJing everywhere.
Well, no, but also at the same time, like I don't know if anybody knows there's a decision. If you want to go do something, you can't go, I don't know, like if you throw a party, you can't be the, well, I can't be, but can't be the DJ, the promoter, the
can't wear too many hats.
Can't wear too many hats, but also at the same time, like you also have to also, like, if you do, there has to be a balance. So saying like, I'm gonna quit my job to go all in on like being a full-time DJ is a decision that is like, it's scary as fuck, because one instance, like, what if you don't fucking make it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or what if it's good for a little while and then everything goes downhill? You know what I mean? It
dries up.
But here, I have a story for that too. So when that happened, like, it was like motivation to all be, you know what I mean? Like, we were just all fucking
Yeah.
running everywhere. You know what I mean? And the peaking at a level where we were having fun. I wasn't doing drugs anymore. I was clean for some years, and things were freaking awesome. They're getting better and better and better. And what the fuck was it? Then, like, that's the whole peaks and valleys thing. Like, then I think by the time we got to, I think, what was it? I don't want to name any nightclubs neither. But I think by the time, we were doing a lot of nightclubs, and, we were, I think you sometimes now, like, some people are like, yo, what's up with the Nova Souls thing? You know what I mean? Or when somebody fucking fucks up and calls me like Nova or some fucking dumb shit like that, I'm
hate
gonna
when that
punch him in the
happens.
fucking face. But, like that those were all good times, but also at the same time, like I I I can honestly say that then I became like I think I was addicted to work, or I was fixated on I always had to make money. I always had to constantly be doing something to make money. So like in a way I was like burning the candle like very very like both ends
On
like
both ends.
yeah, just burning the shit out of it.
Both ends, up the side, around the middle.
Everything was it was a crazy style. And then Red Bull 3 style.
Mm.
Um that was 2000 I think 2012, and I have not quit my job yet. I didn't quit my job at all.
Yeah, you were still working.
I was still working. Um and then oh my god, Coco got pregnant.
Oh yeah.
So Coco got pregnant. I haven't quit. I didn't quit my job yet. And at that point, I was like, I'm gonna fucking work forever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I was like, I was still clean. I was still, um, doing my, I was doing my due diligence as far as being clean and not fucking up in life.
Right.
And
right.
I was just really, I think I was an addict with Red Bull. I was
and freaking monster.
yeah, monster. I think I'm still a kind of a monster addict now. But
You used to have cans of monster all over your car.
yeah, bro. If I fucking what's that called? Recycle, I'd be a millionaire with all all that shit. But yeah, so Coco got pregnant. I got called to do the Red Bull thing. And then I think at one point with the job, no, I did the Red Bull thing. Everything was all good. So I was still working. And then at one point I was like, you know what? Fuck this job. and I talked to Coco about it, and she was working at the also, she was at her job.
Yeah.
And we had that's on some like, if your girl's like, okay,
Yeah.
we'll figure this shit out. You know what I mean? Like, so quit my job. Then we were like full time fucking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we were like.
I mean, as with any artistic outlet, there comes a point where you got to take the leap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was the point that you decided to take the leap.
2012
full time artist.
Yeah. 2012 is like, boom. Let's freaking do this. So then, a couple years go by. I think that a couple of years go by. I'm all crazy style because I'm having a kid. I think me and you were like, we were doing our thing, but I think that we were with each other so much that we started to fucking hate each other. You know what I mean? Not even. I'll say, like it's almost like not. And the hate's such a fucked up word, but like as far as like even family members, you know what I mean? Like on some like, or your family and you're constantly together. We're constantly fucking like we've been constantly together probably like since we used to go to Metropolis.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I mean?
Pretty much. In some way, shape, or form.
When my fat ass was not fat, breakdancing. People will not believe, like I can tell them stories, but they probably will not believe I used to get on the floor.
I got video.
And fucking breakdance.
I got video of it.
I was fucked up. I must have been on drugs if I was. What the fuck is this dude doing? Spinning on his face. But also at the same time, like there's somebody I was talking to somebody the other day, and then they whenever you have that conversation, yo, what happened? I think life happened. You know what I mean? Like for me, life happened to the point where I was like, fuck, I gotta feed my kids. I gotta feed my, you know what I mean? I gotta go into like crazy mode. Um, so then I think it was 2000. What was it? 2015. Then it was 2015.
Yeah, I think so.
We went to Amsterdam, and then me and Coco and the family went to Amsterdam and Paris, and then I remember we were at Liquid, or no, it was the Borgor show. I'm like dropping names. And I remember like I felt like at the time I was like, I mean, I feel like I'm rambling, but like at the time I was like, we're like fighting for this reason thing. We're fighting to be like here as far as DJs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'm like fucking like at one point I'm like, we're making our mark as far as like what we're doing and like how we're doing it and marketing and everything and like how people are like respecting us. You know what I mean?
Right.
So um I couldn't do the show because I was gonna be out of town.
Yeah.
So like at that time, I was like, we're like, Tiger's gonna take care of it, and we're 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 like almost there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm on
Yeah.
some like, you know, some shit, and then go there, come back, and then I don't know. I feel like I think we grew apart from a lot of the shit.
Mm.
A lot of it mainly probably was also from me being, I think, really a shit face. And then I think it was both of us just like I think we were both going in two total different directions. So fast forward, I think to uh 2016, I think, or no, still 2015. Like there was also a time when, the peaks and valleys. Like
Yeah.
you're DJing
Yeah.
a lot, not DJing a lot. You're DJing a lot, and you're not DJing a lot. So then, I think we both got to a point where there was a valley. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like at that time I was like, we're for me, I felt like I had to do something. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, you got a whole ass family.
Yeah,
You
I got a
got to
whole
take
ass
care
family.
of.
So I felt like, you know, it wasn't like, I felt like if we split up, I'm gonna go my way. You know what I mean? And you go your way.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like there was a friendship, like
Yeah, of course.
a
Of course.
brother thing there. You know what I mean? So that happened, and I went my way, and you went yours.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, um, I went in on like, I'm gonna fucking do some shit. So, um, then the valley turned into a peak,
Yeah.
on for me singly, not as a group,
Yeah.
and so I, I don't know if like you're not taught how to succeed.
No.
You know what I mean? Like you can succeed, but are you ready for the success?
Yeah. Are you prepared
Are you
for what
prepared
comes
for
with the
this
success?
succeeding?
Yeah.
So there was no like, okay, well, if this shit's gonna happen, then you're gonna be the shit. You know what I mean? And even when you are the shit, even for me, like I at the time, like then ego came in. Even when we were, doing shit, like my ego, I think at the time was like all fucked up. But then by myself, like my ego was like all on some crazy shit.
Mm.
And but then also at the same time, like shit start going really, really well. And then it was fucking me, 2000, I want to say 15, 16, 17. 18, fucking 4 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going hard. Like, I was trying to get booked everywhere. You know what I mean? I was trying to DJ I was trying
Right.
to do too much. That was the 0 to 60 thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to stay home and eat these chips. I'm going to go out, or I'm going to go out and freaking
do
everything that I can imagine, you know, that I can fucking cover, you know what I mean? That I can do humanly possible. So, and then, I don't know. I can't even like remember when I started drinking again. But it was I probably around I think it might have been 2017. I started drinking again, and like 17. Oh no, wait, 16. Probably 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
17 and 18, right? So you add all that up with the constant DJing, or like 5-6 days a week, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to a point where you're just fucked up all the time. I was getting fucked up at one point. So I wasn't doing any drugs, but I was drinking.
Yeah, yeah.
So then, and also like trying to figure out my limitation then from that. Because I feel like that this is not for everybody, but you have to fuck up to fucking
Yeah, I mean,
you gotta fuck up to figure it out.
I mean, that's all part. It's all a part of life.
Yeah, you gotta fuck up to you gotta make, you know, bad decisions to figure out the good decisions. So, I don't know. Even along the way, I think everything as a whole though got to a point where, you know, DJing constantly with you, and then going from there, and then going to the point where I was DJing constantly by myself. We were talking about that lonely place.
Yeah.
You're a fucking DJ.
Yeah.
You know, your ego, you know, I feel like when people think of DJs also, they probably think they see their ego also.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm not going to name any names, but you if people like you, and this is for me now, like,
mm-hmm.
I'm like, and I don't have an ego anymore, and I try to kill the ego as much as possible, and that happened even in 2018. I was like, at the end of 2018, I was like, I gotta fucking kill this fucking monster shithead that I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of it was because of ego. Like, they're not gonna like you if you're too egotistical.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Not. Yeah.
And also, if you're a shit fucking DJ,
Big facts.
you're gonna just be a fucking shit DJ.
Yeah. Yeah.
So get rid of the fucking ego and try to be a good DJ.
Yeah.
So I don't want to toot my own horn, but I am a good DJ. There's a little ego.
Listen, honestly, that's not ego. If you enjoy salmon, and I tell you, listen, I make a mean salmon dish.
Salmon.
Right? Salmon. That's allowed, right?
Yeah.
If you want your hair braided, I'm like, yo, I'm really dope at braiding hair.
Yeah.
I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Same thing with, listen, if you like going to see DJs, you telling them, look, I'm a really good DJ. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not ego.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, and also even towards that time, with the 2018, end of 2018, getting rid of, you know, fighting with also myself with getting rid of the ego. And I think also what got me back to being humble again was, like, So when I stopped DJing for a little bit, I was still DJing, but I wasn't DJing like crazy style anymore. I like when I said I was gonna uh, slow down, like completely stop. I didn't completely stop. I actually like was like, I'm gonna slow down and I'm gonna figure out what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I remember, I think at the time I was doing the live stream thing with bruh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and also me and Eric first started that before me and bruh did it,
Yeah.
and then that was that was the actual some of the therapy then, and then also like I at the time I was like, shit, I gotta freaking make money.
Yeah.
I'm not making money like I used to, all crazy style. So I drove for Uber.
Oh yeah, yeah, you did for a little bit.
Yeah, I became an Uber driver. And that to I don't know if shit to me going from that, you know, place of ego or whatever, or that, that then that's also zero to freaking 60 also. Like it's a complete change, but also at the same time, like uh, you know when we DJ at nightclubs, I don't want to say any clubs names, but when you DJ in a nightclub and you have that opportunity and that, I guess, for some people that think DJs are the shit, that luxury or whatever, and you're getting paid, and everybody is your best friend, really not your best friend. Everybody's fake as fuck. But you go from, I went from that to like, then like you're serving people, right? You're like you're serving people with music, with their escaping their daily.
You're providing their escapism.
Yeah, providing their escapism, and you're there for them with the music and everything like that. So then going from that to then, I guess I went to like, let's see what a 9 to 5 does again. You know what I mean?
I mean, is driving for Uber really a 9 to 5 though?
No,
I feel like that's a midnight to 4
no,
a.m.
no, it's not 9 to 5, but it can actually become like a, it's some wacky freaking hours, but that also can become a 9 to 5, whatever. If you start at like 10 o'clock and then you go until 4 o'clock in the morning, at 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. I mean, it becomes a 95. But I think in the beginning, bro, actually like, helped me out with signing up and becoming an Uber driver. But I went all in, just like I do everything. You know what I mean? I'll either go in and fail, all in and fail, freaking drop on my face and freaking crawl away.
So you went full sin.
I went full fucking crazy style, dude. I went like shit. You can make this much money.
Did you have the mints in your car and shit?
No,
like bottled water?
No, I didn't do any of that shit. I didn't do any of that shit. But then also at the same time, I felt like it was I don't want to call it a fucking a human experiment, but like coming from a world of service, like also like DJing, and also like, I worked in a lot of restaurants. I mean, the construction thing in my life, was a big part of like, I did that career for a while, but I think like all in all, like, I'm a service industry person. You know what I mean? Like I was a cook. I wasn't a bartender. I'm anybody. I want to be a bartender. Like I feel like I'm going to be the old bartender one day, but, I'm gonna be like freaking like 80 years old, freaking pouring shots.
Bartending.
Yeah, just freaking all gray hairs and shit. But just a service, just doing a service. You know what I mean? Like even breaking it down like that, like fucking driving people around. You know what I mean? Is a fucking service, and like
it's definitely a service.
It's a service and a half. I mean, I felt like when I was doing it, like, there'd be times when there's also peaks and valleys where you're making a lot of money, but then also you're like dealing with a lot of shit from people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Just like nightclubs.
Yeah.
Dealing with a whole bunch of fucking shit. So, did that for a while, and that actually I felt like humbled me to a point where I I I got to I got to meet a lot of interesting people, and then also find out a lot of how some people are very, very fucking shitty.
Very.
Very, very shitty. And it humbled me to the point where when I thought I was like I was still doing shows in between that, but then there was a point where I was like, I gotta figure this shit out for myself and do what makes me happy instead of thinking this is what's gonna make people happy. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is thinking like I need to do this to make people happy instead of myself. You know what I mean? So I had to like completely turn it around into like I want to make myself happy again, and the love that I got for DJing
Mm-hmm.
is fucking there. It's there. I feel like I'm gonna be a DJ. I think me and Craze had a conversation. He was like, "Yo, we're probably gonna quit at like 50," and then I'm like, "We'll probably quit. We'll probably be old fucking DJing."
I mean,
You know?
is there really a age limit on it?
I think
I know the industry is trying to age gate it, but
I think industry is trying to make it, but also at the same time, like no, I don't think that. Like, if you want to look at guitarists,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Keith Richards.
yeah.
I mean, he is fucking old as dirt, but
Isn't
he's still playing his guitar.
Isn't
You
it
know what I mean?
strange to think about, like, rock music, right? They haven't really age gated rock music.
No,
Like guitarists and stuff, right?
No.
You can be, the
dude, you can be fucking
Rolling
80
Stones
years
are
old.
still out here touring and stuff.
Yeah, you can be 80
But
years
then
old.
most things that came from hip hop, right?
Yeah,
The DJ as we know it came from hip hop.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, when you really think about
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
like even the use of the headphones,
yeah,
Cool Herc started that.
yeah,
So the DJ as we know it kind of came from hip hop, and it gets an age gate put on it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Rapping, like
Yeah.
rappers got younger and younger and younger.
yeah,
And now it's like, if you're in your 30s, they're like, don't even try to get a rap career in your 30s.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Like, if you got bars, you got bars.
yeah, yeah,
Same thing with, like, producers. They want producers to be younger and younger.
yeah.
So it's like musically, a lot of the things that came from hip hop started getting age gated.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's kind of like that with DJs. Like, places want younger and younger and younger DJs.
Yeah, yeah.
People keep sending me videos of like 11-year-olds DJing. I'm like, that's cool and all, but are they like, at 11, do you know how to rock a party?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
feel like at 11, you're kind of just going through the motions. Yeah, you're good at like scratching and stuff like that, but you're kind of going through the motions. Like, you don't have any type of like emotional connection to any of the music that you're
Oh,
playing.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Half
Half of the shit you're playing you can't relate to because they're talking about shit that you haven't even seen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know, 11-year-old know what a WAP is. You know what I'm saying? And if they do, that's a conversation. Somebody needs to have a conversation with their parents. Like,
yeah, yeah.
yo, fam, what are you doing over here?
Yeah, that shit is, my God. I have not played that yet.
I've played it a handful of
I
times.
I think no. I played it once and I played the remix, but I actually was wrapping up a gig a couple weeks ago, and I was grabbing all my stuff, putting my stuff in my bags, and there was the music from
Mhm.
the spot that I was at overhead. Fucking WAP. Was it WAP or WAP? I don't want to
WAP. It's WAP.
WAP because I don't want to get all
Yeah.
get any Italian friends.
Yeah,
freaking-
yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Me and my friend Pun had a whole last conversation about that earlier. It's actually WAP,
WAP.
but we feel like people kind of go out of their way to say
And
it the other
and
way.
say it, yeah.
Yeah.
So when the song came on, these chicks were fucking losing it.
Yeah, they were going
Every
they
bar,
lose their
every
mind.
they knew every bar, and I'm like, damn, it's just it's that track, okay?
It's
But it's almost like it's gonna blow itself up.
Yeah, it's going to fizzle out.
Yeah.
It's kind of like me. Another
That's like,
thing
that's
me
crazy about music, right? Like it gets so popular to a point
that it
where
fizzles
it
out.
sucks.
Yeah.
That
Well, one of the things me and Paul were talking about is I was saying we need more female DJs, especially when so songs go viral. And one of the issues with songs going viral is that everybody wants to come in and hear you play that song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've been listening to it all day.
Yep.
They've been listening to it in their car while they're working out, and then they come in the club and want you to play it. And then the issue is right now we're in a time in Ohio where most clubs are like daytime clubs now.
Oh yeah.
So I get women coming up to me wanting me to play that song at it's like 6:30, 7 o'clock. It's still daylight. There's still children walking on the street.
Yeah.
We're on a rooftop patio where the music's playing. I can't play that right now. We can't be turning up like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Or if I'm out on the island DJing at the pool, like the pool I DJ at is kind of a family pool.
Yeah.
And like I've had women come up and be like, "Yo, can you play this song?" And I'm like, "Yo, I can't play that. We got kids here."
Yeah.
I don't see any kids. I'm like, "There's literally 15 kids in the pool right there."
Yep.
You know what I mean? But like
people don't talk about that DJing. Nobody talks about the parental guidance DJing of the lesson that you
the daytime
DJ that has to be PG as fuck and has to know where they're actually going to not fuck shit up.
Yeah, exactly. And I was also talking about so I like to rock to every song I play. Like I play things that I like, and I can't be up there dancing and singing along to WAP. Like that ain't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, we need for times like this where that's the song, that's the hot song. We need some more female DJs out here, and they can take over that. They can play that song.
They can play that shit.
We'll put that on them.
Except the drunk ones that hit the floor.
Yeah. Oof. Oh man.
But yeah, so that's. I mean, I think I'm talking a lot, but I got to a point even now where even when I was doing the whole Uber thing and then I got to, you know how like when everybody's like, yo, you coming out or that one thing, those 3 words, even in life, I got to work. Or I got a DJ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I got a DJ.
Yeah.
So, like I got a DJ, and also I got to work. And also being a actual fan of music, like, and going to shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I mean, we could talk about that too. Like, what was your first show, and why are you a DJ? Because of the bitches or because of the music? And no, I would go to shows, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a kid, and then until, even now, you know what I mean?
I was about to say, you still go to shows.
I still go to shows, but also at the same time, like I think I got to a point where I was like, I'm going to go to, I want to have fun. You know what I mean? Like I want to experience the music like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then got to meet a lot of really, really cool people, and experience shows, but also at the same time, I remember the last show that I fucking went to this year. You know what I mean? Before everything
went to.
So it was like, I think it also at one point, there was a couple of years where I was like, I want to try to go to as many shows as possible. I want to try to go to as many like musical things as possible. Right. If I'm DJing at them, or if I'm like, that was I was getting that passion back again for fucking everything, for the music and everything. And then that helped me a lot too, but with who I am now versus probably the person that I was like then and a couple of years ago, like I'm pretty much like, I think I've come full circle with how I'm supposed to be with myself.
And I mean, that's what
fuck
that's
everybody else.
important.
And then I don't mean it even in that way, like fuck everybody else, because like, the term zero fucks and all that shit. Like, bro,
I hate that stuff.
If you didn't have fucking zero fucks, then why are you getting up for work?
Yeah.
Fucking So I don't mean it in like fuck all those people, but also at the same time like getting back to actually like doing things that make you happy, then that exudes things that make everybody else happy. You know what I mean? And you don't even have to do anything.
especially in the career that we're in.
That we're in, and we're like the DJs. I mean, if your friends come to watch you DJ, and shout out to all the fucking friends that come out. I think that no one, if you're a big time DJ, small time DJ, super egotistical DJ, you should really, really shout out your fucking friends or the shout out the actual people that come. I can't even like if I'm DJing in front of 500 fucking strangers, that's cool.
Yeah.
But if one fucking person got in there, like you got to think about this. One person that you know, that was one of your friends, that fucking jumped into their car and drove and came to see you DJ. That one person, and then appreciated your shit, even maybe if everybody didn't. I'm not even gonna front. Everybody else probably didn't, but that person physically went there for you.
Specifically for you.
Those are the motherfuckers that you should be taking care of. As far as like if your ego's out of control, if I'm a DJ, blah blah blah, you're a fucking DJ because these people, the strangers watch you play and the friends watch you play. 100%. You know what I mean? And you know, I think at one point like there's a I think also DJing to me as far as even with the rave days and everything and the club days, like I want to say this because I think if anybody wants to hear it, they can. But I've met so many different people, like as far as demographics, as far as black people, white people, every fucking buddy people, like every fucking buddy, and like, you know, as far as even the world being like in the most divided, crazy style state it's been in, you know what I mean, secretly, and you know what I mean, like in front of fucking people's faces, like I think that's the world that like we came from, and that is also the world that like we're still actually designing right now. You know what I mean? Or that we're still like in a community. You know, that we're in a community of. I feel like it's a community, whether like there's haters or not. That and that community is fucking everybody.
Yes.
It ain't like yo, and it's not like, and I think that also like when I was growing up too, like I'm not gonna say I grew up Filipino all crazy style, but like I had some Filipino friends, and you know my brother, but I think at one point I think, you know, as far as even identity crisis, like, you know, there'd probably be like Filipinos that'd be like he acts too black, or he, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like on some shit like that. So like I felt like, you know, being young growing up also in even I'll talk about the rave thing. That's a huge, like to me, like the electronic music thing, I don't want to call it EDM, but people do call it EDM, and I get it.
I mean, it's kind of it's a bit redundant. It
Stands
stands for electronic dance music.
It's redundant.
Yeah, but there is no dance music that's not electronic. So
yeah. So, you know, it's, you know, it for now it's the acronym, but you know, it was a I would say even with the starting of DJing, hip hop was a big part of it. But when I found electronic music and like that community of fucking people, that was like that I lived that like all the way through now till now. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's a big part of. It's a big part of like if you're seen. I hate to call it fucking scene, but there are scenes, but also it's at the same time they're communities that like if they all get together and we're all fucking having a good party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm happy that like we've gotten to this point. You know what I mean? With this right here. You know,
Yeah, we've made it this far.
we've made it this far. I mean, we're fucking breathing. You know what I mean? And that's probably like I shouldn't even be here fucking breathing. You know?
Yeah, yeah. When you really think about it.
Yeah, when you really think about it, I should be like, we should be like, wow, that dude was, he was fucking hardcore. But I feel like now if I try to tell anybody like the stories that, like that's, I think I got a little bit in depth here, but there's like really like, if I told a story, like a lot of people would be thinking I was bullshitting because it sounds like some movie crazy shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
retarded. What the fuck were you?
I mean,
thinking?
they say art imitates life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Just some crazy. What the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah.
And how did you pull it? Or how did
you survive that?
But did you die? Like, yeah, a few times. I think I just met a person, and dude, he's had like, I'm gonna put his name out there, but I guess heart attacks and all this stuff, and
Jesus.
like that's like, but did you die? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. He's still here,
Still here,
still kicking.
still kicking. Shout out to people everybody that still kicks it with me. That doesn't think I'm the weirdo.
Oh,
I do feel
man.
like sometimes I feel like I'm like shit.
I mean, we're all a little weird, right?
We're all a little weird, but not even that sense. Like I think I met somebody the other day that's like, I know their uncle or their
What?
or their dad. You know what I mean? Like on some shit like that.
Oh,
Like crazy shit like that. You know what I mean? Like like shit. Wait. You know my
Wow.
mom. You know my mom. Wait. What was your mom's name?
Oh boy. And on that note, I think we're gonna have to wrap up this part 1, man. We're gonna have to get you back in here for a part 2.
Oh, I probably got like 15.
I feel like there's so
like,
much more.
There's sequels to, and it's like Star Wars. Or no, it's Return of the Jedi and all that shit.
JonDoe, thank you so much, man, for coming in
Yeah.
and trusting me enough to share a fraction. I feel like it's just a fraction of your story.
It's part of
and your history.
What is it? It's part of the Facebook. You ain't been through shit until you
Oh man,
some motherfuckers be posting some crazy shit, and I'm like,
and they
yo,
haven't been through a damn
you
thing.
fucking don't even understand, motherfucker.
Like you haven't been through nothing yet.
Shit. Try sleeping in your car in a fucking parking lot by McDonald's.
Winter.
I'm sorry, I had $1.
In wintertime.
What do you got to get? I got gas. I got to get gas. See, you got 3 things. You got to try to get 3 things with this $1.
With the dollar.
Gas, maybe some Lucy cigarettes because you're a fucking smoker. And with that $1 or the $1 double cheeseburger or whatever.
All with the same dollar.
You fucking choose which one. What option do you have?
Oh,
That's where I came from. So nobody asked me for a fucking $1. See, I got all serious and shit. And then
oh my god!
I got fucking joke. You know what? I'm trying to get to the point where I'm DJing, but the actual show is when I just start talking shit.
Just start telling jokes
like a fucking comedian, because I feel like I tell a lot of jokes, and I I talk a lot of shit online. And I think a lot of people either like it or they don't. But also at the same time, I'm like, just fucking laugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just have a good time laughing because I had an EP a couple years ago called
Mhm.
"It's Not That Serious." I understand the situation right now with the times of the world, but like, if you also break it down and just enjoy life, like anybody watching this, listening, enjoy fucking your time here, because tomorrow you could be fucking, not. So fucking do that shit.
Just enjoy it while you're here.
YOLO, still YOLO.
Oh, man. And on that note, we are out of here. Thank you for doing this with me.
Oh yeah.
I really appreciate it. My
Yeah.
brother, JonDoe.
Thank you very much.